Hi, I'm Ama Upari, and today I'm talking about menu planning. This is one of the things that I hear quite often, particularly from people who are new to the lifestyle, on how to plan a menu for whether they're eating vegan or raw vegan, and especially if there are other people in the household who are not eating in that same way. Now, I've always hesitated to provide written out menu plans because there are so many things that make a difference. These pre-filled menus may not work for you because you need to have the freedom and the flexibility in order to fit your personal needs. For instance, what is your schedule like? Do you have a lot of night meetings or kids in school, and what are the parameters about meals in your household? Also, what are your tastes? Maybe you don't particularly like spicy food, or maybe you do. What are your tastes? What are your goals? Are you eating raw, 100%? Partially raw? Is this for health reasons? What are the reasons that you're making this lifestyle choice, and how does your menu need to reflect those choices, those needs, or those goals? The other thing would be, what's available, and what's in season. For instance, our avocado or mango tree is about to start dropping many mangoes, and so my menu for the next couple of weeks or so is going to need to reflect that we may need to eat mangoes at every meal. What about your budget? So all of these things will play into how your menu needs to be structured in order to fit your needs. So here's an action step for you for this first part of the menu planning process, is to identify the 3 needs that your menu for the next 2 weeks is going to need to provide. And these needs may change over time. You may have some weeks that are more busy than others, or some weeks there are different people going to be eating at your table with you. So what are the 3 needs for the next 2 weeks that you are going to need to make sure your menus meet? So the second thing is the recipes. Once again, whether you're eating vegan or raw vegan, you'll need to have a collection of recipes that you can pull out to fill into your menu plan. There are certain things that you can have in your pantry that will make creating recipes much easier and quicker. So what are the things that you need to have in your pantry? There are also some basic menu items, such as salads or bowls, like some people call them Buddha bowls, or sandwiches or wraps or soups or pâtés. There are a variety of different types of recipes, pastas, that can fill and broaden the scope of what it is that you can have on your menus. And this is something that we'll be going through in a lot more detail in my menu planning course workshop on exactly how to find recipes, how to create your own recipes. Maybe there's even things that you already are making, even if you're brand new to vegan. Maybe there are things that you've already been making all along that are already vegan or can be easily made vegan. So these are some of the things that you'll need to consider as you work to collect a recipe repertoire, create a recipe repertoire of recipes that you can pull from at any given time. Over time, the beginning, this will take longer as you're just getting started, but over the course of some weeks or months, you'll begin to have like I said, a repertoire of recipes that that you can call on, and you won't necessarily need to be so proactive about, making an actual plan. You'll just be able to say, okay, this week I'm going to do these things. So your action plan for this section, for section number 2, for part 2, the recipes, is to find 3 recipes, whether they be recipes you already have or new recipes online or from your favorite recipe book. But anyway, 3 recipes that fit those 3 needs that we just talked about in the first step. So 3 recipes that meet your 3 needs. Then the third part is then actually putting all of those things together in a plan. So what days do you need to accommodate a very busy schedule? Look at the next 2 weeks. What days are you going to be really busy? What days do you have the opportunity to spend some more time where you can maybe make something like a big pot of beans that can be used in several different recipes over the course of the week? What recipes can you put together really, really quickly? What ingredients do you need to get in order to be able to make those 3 recipes that you identified in the second step? So the action step for this would be to decide which days you are going to use those 3 recipes you found in the previous step. So are they quick and easy recipes? Which days are you most needing quick and easy meals? Are they more elaborate ones? Which days do you have the time in order to make a fancier dinner or just a more time-consuming cooking process? Which days do you have, the grandkids coming over? Or which days do you have to make sure that you have something for, a meat eater, or, whether it's actual meat or just a dish that will satisfy them even if it doesn't have meat. So think about all of those things from the first 2 steps, meeting your needs, the recipes that you have collected and are identified, and which days then are you going to use those recipes. So I mentioned a little bit ago about my workshop, and this is a menu planning workshop where we'll go into much more details about each of those 3 areas. We'll also look at what to do if you're the only vegan in your house. How can you still make meals that satisfy you as well as satisfy the rest of your family? We'll look at the ways to plan for even the busiest schedule. There are ways that you can make sure you have a very healthy and delicious meal, even if you only have 15 minutes to throw together dinner once you get home from work. So how to handle busy schedules. We'll go into what items you should make sure are in your pantry. Things that will make it very easy to pull together a meal at the drop of a hat. We'll go into where to find recipes, which recipe books, which online sites, which things from your own history, your own past, the things you already know. How to create your own recipe. So how do you build that recipe repertoire so that you have a nice variety of things that you can call on and then gradually add over time. A little more and a little more. I'm always adding new things to my repertoire. I get bored with the same thing all the time. So I am always interested in finding new ways. And so another part of that is kitchen confidence. So we'll look at how to increase your kitchen confidence, because part of making new recipes and avoiding that boredom is being able to put together spices in a new way, being able to create your own recipes, and widening your horizons even further. So these are some of the things that we'll be covering in the menu planning workshop. I hope you'll join me. You can go to www.opari.net/menu to find out about how you can be a part of the program. That's it for now. I would love to hear your insights and what your 3 things are from each of, what are the 3 things that you need your menu to be able to satisfy the 3 needs that your menus need to satisfy? What are the 3 recipes that you're going to that you're going to make over the next 2 weeks? And which days you're going to make them? How did you decide where to put them in your menu plan? So put those in the comments below, and make sure you come on over to foodforthesoul.opari.net and for lots of great recipes. And I hope to see you in the menu planning workshop. That's it for now. I'm Ama Opari from Food for the Soul. Kwaheri. Goodbye.